Please excuse any mispronunciation in this story. I mean no disrespect. This story is about Andre Terrence Bryant, who vanished from Brooklyn, New York on March 29, 1989. He was less than 6 weeks old at the time and should be 34 years old today. Andre's parents, Timothy Bryant and Monique Rivera, were either dating or married. Different sources say different things. Andre had two brothers, 6-year-old Timothy Jr. and 4-year-old Thomas. They lived in an apartment on Madison Street in the Bushwick section of Brooklyn, New York. On March 28, 1989, Monique and her sons left their apartment and went for a walk. While walking, they encountered two women in a car. The women got out and approached Monique. They talked with her about her sons and asked to hold Andre. They invited her and her sons to come with them to lunch at McDonald's. She happily accepted. The women drove Monique and her sons to McDonald's, where the women seemed very interested in Andre. They each took turns holding him and talking to him. After that, they convinced Monique to go shopping with them at the Green Acres shopping mall in Valley Stream, Long Island. The group went to a store called Canadians, where Monique bought herself an outfit. They then went to another store where the women bought her a pair of pants and a shirt. They then took her and her sons home. Timothy was concerned when Monique came home and said she had been out shopping with the two women. He was uncomfortable that she was getting clothes from them. He did not understand why they were buying her clothes, since she had her own money. He asked her what she was doing with them. She said she knew them from middle school. It is not clear if she actually knew them or not. Monique told Timothy that the women used fraudulent credit cards to make their purchases. She did not seem concerned about it. She also told him that they invited her to go shopping with them at the Galleria Mall in White Plains, New York, the next day. He was concerned about her going with them again, but she told him not to worry. His sister Patricia agreed to watch the children while Monique shopped. At 2 p.m. on March 29th, the two women called Monique from a payphone around the corner and asked her to come out and meet them. When she got to their car, which was parked in front of her building, they said to her, "Go back in and bring Andre. We want him to come." Some reports claim that they were not parked in front of her apartment, but more of them say that they were. So anyway, Monique went back into the house. She told Patricia that the women only wanted her to bring Andre. So she picked him up and took him to the car. That was the last time Monique and Andre were seen by their family. At 10 p.m. that night, Timothy called Monique's mother and asked her if Monique and Andre were at her house. They were not. Her family knew she would not stay over in an unfamiliar place without letting them know. They knew automatically that something was wrong. Timothy called the police and reported Monique and Andre missing. The next morning, March 30th, a jogger found Monique's fully clothed body at the bottom of a wooded embankment, about 30 feet from the City Island Road, near the Eastchester Bay Inlet in the Bronx. She had been struck in the head and then strangled to death with a scarf. She had numerous defensive wounds, including bruises and broken fingernails. No identification was found with her body. There was no sign of Andre at the scene. Police were unable to identify her at that time. A few days later, Timothy put an ad in the Sunday newspaper asking for information on Monique's and Andre's whereabouts. A Bronx detective recognized her as the woman found near Eastchester Bay. Later that day, a detective arrived at Monique's mother's home and gave her the tragic news. Simone says she will never forget that day. Divers searched the nearby waters for Andre's body. However, nothing was found. Simone says they could not understand what was happening. Monique was dead, but where was Andre? The fact that the women did not want Monique to leave the house without Andre led the police to believe that he was the target. He was the one they were looking for, and when she did not go along with their plan, they killed her. NYPD Inspector Ken Lindahl says infant child abduction is really uncommon, and when the case hit, everybody took notice of it. Unfortunately, the two suspects, the two women, had vanished along with Andre. No one in the family knew their names, and they have never been identified. Simone says she has no idea why they wanted Andre. Authorities believe that the women may have taken Andre to raise him as their own. They also speculated that the women used him as a prop in their credit card scam. They noted that women with infants were less likely to be scrutinized by sales clerks when using stolen credit cards. It is possible that they tried to recruit Monique for their scam as well. When she refused, they killed her and kept Andre. Authorities have also suspected that Andre may have been sold into a black market adoption ring. His disappearance may be connected to two other children who vanished from Harlem, New York in 1989. Christopher Dansby and Shane Walker. Christopher and Shane both vanished from the same park just a few months apart. All three children were young black boys. Andre's family hopes that he is alive and will someday come home. The two women last seen with Andre and Monique are the prime suspects in the case. One of the women was black, between 30 and 35, heavy-set, with a dark complexion. She was wearing sunglasses. The other woman was Hispanic or black, between 22 and 25, with long red or bushy orange hair and a light complexion. She was wearing a red leather jacket and white pants. She was most likely the woman that Monique knew from school. Both women were about 5 foot 7 inches tall. Neither have ever been identified. The women were driving a burgundy or maroon late model 1988 or 1989 Pontiac Grand Am Sports Edition with tinted windows. It may have had Maryland license plates. One of Monique's sons reported seeing a gun in the car. 2 days after Monique's body was identified, a woman calling herself Joan Walker called her apartment. She asked to speak with Monique. When told that she was dead, Joan said, "Monique can't be dead. I was just shopping with her the last 2 days." During the call, Joan also gave an address. Police said it did not check out. The woman has never been identified, and authorities have never been able to link anyone with that name to the case. They are not sure if she was one of the two women seen with Monique and Andre. If she was, they theorize that she may not have participated in the actual murder. I would like to believe that someone raised Andre no matter how he came into their custody, and that he's survived for the last 34 years, and I hope someday he will be found safe. If anybody has any possible leads in this case, please check out the contact information in the description. Thank you.